they're like 3/4 full, but it's in a different room.
Nice.
So I have 3 because I've done that 3 times apparently, and I just brought them all to my office. I'm gonna
So
try and
yeah, you
drink
just
them.
saved them. Yeah.
I'm
Interesting.
gonna try to drink them. Yeah.
At least it's not like bottles of Mountain Dew. That has like a particular connotation to it.
Yeah. True. And they would get flat, which is I don't like flat soda.
Ick. I
Yeah.
just don't soda anymore. I haven't
It'd
for
be
a
a
long
good
time.
topic for our podcast. We should start.
That we should probably start. Yeah, 35 seconds in, and we're just sitting here gabbing,
Just
which we should
talking.
probably do. Yeah, on the
Post intro.
podcast.
Yeah.
Um, that might stay in, honestly. Um, here we go. Welcome back to Anchor Chicken. I am here. Kevin is here. Let us begin. Kevin,
I like that.
did you like that intro?
It was just straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get into it. What do
Let's
I
get
have to
to it.
say
Yeah.
things,
What is this, episode 14 or something? Like at this point,
I
you know
don't
who we
know.
are.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
here. Kevin's here. Let's do this thing. Actually, today's episode centered around something you wouldn't expect: playground safety. Yes, we here are playground safety experts at Anchor Chicken. No, I'm saying this because my daughter broke her elbow
Yeah, that's right.
on the playground. Did
Ooh.
kids break bones. You know what I'm saying? This thing happens. I wasn't there, but from what I understand, swinging in the swing, she's like 11 years old. So we're getting pretty big at this point. You can swing really, really high. You start like tempting fate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's one
So
of those ages, right, where you're getting older and bigger and stronger, but you're not quite. You haven't been that long enough to know that you're that.
yes, yeah. And you have, I mean, there's no frontal lobe yet. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not even close to developed. Just the back parts. So she's doing this and they're like leaning as far back as they can, trying to get that like floaty feeling at the top of the swing. She leans a little bit too far back. The swing turns over and dumps her out at the top.
Oh no.
And she lands actually on her face first. And then, with her arm getting crunched up, just broke
Ooh.
broke her funny bone. They had to like
Oh.
move the funny bone nerve to like get to where the break was.
Oh. Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
hey,
Ooh.
mild plus side to this, maybe she won't have a funny bone on that arm anymore.
Oh no. I think it's still there. I think it's still there's a big pin in it. They kept it in there. There's a big old pin in it. She has a pin and a metal plate. So she had surgery, right? And
Dang, yeah.
she has like I saw the x-ray, there's like a pin through the elbow holding it in, then like a metal
Which,
plate up here on the humerus area. I'm like, man, you got some nasty looking elbows now. I told her, I was like, you throw a bow at somebody and they get a piece of that metal plate, cut them up. You cut them up, we're gonna put you in some type of martial art.
yeah, always the fighter, right?
Yes, absolutely. She's a cyborg
She's got a
now.
bionic daughter, yeah.
Yeah, how cool is that? She thought that was pretty cool. She still talks about it. She's like, so when do I get to elbow people? Like, not yet. You gotta let it heal.
Not yet.
You gotta let it heal.
Once
But once it heals, dangerous as fuck, my boy.
yeah, that's cool. Did you ever break any bones as a kid?
No,
We knew
never.
each other in high school, but I didn't really know before that.
Nah, man. I was always really careful. Like I was like out doing stuff. I was
Same.
getting scraped, bruised up, but I never broke like a major bone. I still haven't broken a major bone, actually.
Same. Yeah.
I never broke like it was always fingers and toes. I didn't start breaking those until I started fighting, right? So like until I started like trying to pursue mixed martial arts, no bones broken ever.
Yeah, I got a bit of a boxer's fracture on my left hand. But that's really it. Like nothing else. And I was also a pretty cautious kid. I think I didn't engage in like bone breaking level of tomfooleries.
Yeah.
But I played football for a significant amount of time, right?
Yeah, we both
sports. Yeah. So we were just big guys growing up in Texas. You can't avoid it. Honestly, they just push you on a football team, even if you don't want to be there.
You have no choice. You have no choice here in Texas.
Yeah, I did like I used to play paintball and some things like that, and I took some injuries on that. Like I did a I man, when you're young and you do things like paintball, you feel the need, some of us feel the need to show off a little bit and like show up in like a t-shirt and shorts. Like
Oh
most people
God,
like to be covered up,
is that showing
because
off? I'm thinking
it's
showing off is
stupid.
like doing backflips and like being ultra tactical. You're like,
Well, so
I
so
want to
that's part of it.
bleed.
That's part of it. We'll get there.
Oh my gosh.
So most people, I say this because if you haven't played paintball, most people cover up. You're not
Yeah.
only are you getting shot with paintballs, which have a tendency to be relatively unpleasant when they hit you, you're also just out in woods or like random fields, and there's like hunks of like plywood or like pieces of pallets. Like it's not a particularly soft or comforting environment, right? You
Rusty
could
screws and sharp
just
rusty
not
metal and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
right. Exposed skin doesn't do particularly well in that. So most people come it covered at least for that, for protection against the elements and stuff. But again,
Exactly.
like teenager thought I was cool. I don't need that shit. It's like when you don't wear gloves when you're working out in dirt and stuff. It's like, come on,
Ah,
protect your hands. You know what I
man.
mean?
Yes.
There's no reason to not protect your hands. So I went out one time and was trying to do a cool show offy thing and did a baseball slide while I was wearing shorts. And it was like the tuck one leg under you and slide with the
Mm.
other leg straight out. And I did that again in shorts, so just bare skin on this course that had been built over like an old asphalt thing. So there were
Okay.
like patches of asphalt with like the loose asphalt rocks.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I decided that would be the best place to slide was right over one
Oh,
of
for
those
sure.
patches. So
Yeah.
just like it looked like I fell on a motorcycle, just like
All of your skin
decided to
gone.
remove the skin on the left side
Oh,
of my left leg.
man.
It was rough, dude.
That's terrifying.
It was rough. I remember afterward, um, we went to, I think it was No Frills. You remember No Frills Grill?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, went there and I went into the bathroom and hiked my leg up on the sink and was using paper towels, like wet paper towels, to try to get the rocks and stuff
From
out
the
of
no
my
frills
leg
bathroom.
in the No Frills bathroom. And a
If
guy
you want an
walks in and
infection,
goes,
ladies and gentlemen, clean your leg in a no frills bathroom.
it was a different time back then.
It
We just
was.
we did what we did. A guy walked in while I was doing that, and as soon as he turned the corner, goes, "Jesus Christ, man! Did you fall over on a motorcycle?"
Oh my god. What a sight to see. How old were you?
15, something
Oh,
like
at that
that.
age we looked like we were in our 20s already. So,
I was old enough that, like, I guess falling over on a motorcycle made more sense to him than paintball of all things. I
yeah.
was like, "Nah, I was playing paintball." He was like, "Geez, dude, don't play so hard." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah. Like what kind of paintball gun did that, bro? That's
yeah,
terrible.
yeah." It was rough. So like injuries for sure. Also famously shot in the eye with a BB gun. Right,
Oh,
very
right. Yeah, somehow
bothersome
not blind.
story.
Yeah.
Lucky. Still have a little bit of a scar on like the whites of my eye where it hit. That's a crazy story too. But the point being, definitely had injuries when younger, but not broken bones. Avoided broken bones.
Yeah, yeah, definitely injuries, cuts, scrapes, big bruises. There are times where I thought I should have broken my bones. And, back when we were young, it was like milk gives you strong bones. I was like, man, sure, I'm glad I drank all that fucking milk because look at this. I didn't break my bone and someone
I
else would
still
have.
think it. I still
Do
think
you?
it all the time. I love milk, and yeah, I drank it a bunch as a kid, and yeah, same thing. Like I had moments where I had friends that broke bones. I had moments where I fell similar ways. Fell on my elbow on the street once and got a rock like lodged up under
Mm-hmm.
my skin. Didn't break my bone then.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
remember
weird.
falling in basketball. I was playing basketball, like rough street basketball, right? Across at my
Mm-hmm.
friend's house. Went up for a jump
Back in
shot,
the and one days.
get my legs taken out from under me. and
Oof.
I land wrist first with my hand like this. And
Oof.
I I was like, surely my wrist is broken. No, perfectly fine. In fact, didn't even, it was like sore for a day.
That's crazy.
Like,
Like
yeah,
that's strong joints too. That's not just bones. That's
honestly,
like ligaments and tendon. You could have torn something even if you didn't break
it
anything.
should have been way more hurt than it was because I like landed on it and then landed under my body. So there was like no
Just
escaping. You know what I mean?
oof.
I was just like
Yeah.
on it. And
Hmm.
I was well over 200 pounds at this point. This was like not light Dax
Yeah.
period. So like that was the one that I remember the most. I was like, I don't know why, but somehow I made it through that without breaking anything.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. I had like I had random things like rolled ankles and stuff. I usually had pretty strong ankles too. Maybe that's why both of us felt mildly okay with fighting. Like you felt more okay with it than
Probably.
me.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah, I
not
went a
really
little
been injured.
further. A little
Yeah,
further.
a little further. Yeah. But I can't remember how old I was the first time I took a punch, but I realized after that that like it's not that bad. Like
Yeah.
you can get hit where it is bad. Don't get me wrong. Like there are
Oh,
painful ways to be hit for
have
sure.
been have been hit and had it be
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, but it's like, eh, I'll be all right.
Man, well, I fought. I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast about my first fight out in Louisiana.
Mm-mm.
But I was actually on my way down to light heavyweight. So fighting at 205, and we get a call for me to take this opponent. Like couldn't get anyone to fight him because he was too heavy and there was no one in the area to fight him. So they wanted a
Mm.
super heavyweight fight, which means I need to be 275 plus, right? But they told me he was 5'10 and 310 pounds. So I'm thinking like,
Butterball,
yeah, a little
butterbean,
blueberry,
wasn't
yeah, a little butterbean.
it?
So my entire camp, I'm like, yeah, I'll take that fight. I want to fight anyways. You know, I've been training for a really long time. It's time for me to take a fight. So my entire fight camp centered around keeping a shorter opponent at a distance with my jab, so he couldn't come in and like haymaker me and knock me out. The
Mm-hmm.
idea was he was a boxer, so the idea was the fight was going to have special rules where it was just stand up, no MMA.
Okay,
It was just going to be kickboxing. So like, all
okay,
right, well, I'm not really a ground game guy anyway. My background is in Taekwondo, so I'll kick the shit out of this little blueberry, no problem,
yeah.
bro. I show up to the fight. This guy is not 5'10. He's fucking 6'10. A fucking 310 pounds of shredded fucking big dark African fucking muscle, bro.
Jesus
I'll
Christ.
see if I can find the picture. There's a picture of our face off. I'm like to his titties on my tippy toes. And he's looking down at me, just like ready to fucking eat me because I'm fucking. I gained a bunch of weight to get. I ate Whataburger. I was still underweight. I was like 268 pounds while we were driving there. I ate Whataburger on the way there to gain weight and be able to make weight to fight this guy. So I'm like, I got this big belly full of fucking grease and
Oh
hamburger,
no.
and this dude has fucking like an 8 pack. This dude's got 12 fucking abs. You know what I mean? This guy's absolutely insane. Bro, I've never been hit so hard in my life. I get into the cage, right? Um yeah, you got to break the ice. Round 1 starts, we face off, we dance around a little bit. Like I got about 12 seconds of patience in me before I'm like in the pocket, staring him down. I'm like, let's test this jab. I throw a jab. It doesn't quite reach his face. He throws a jab. It goes through my face, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you listen in that recording. It sounds like a home run gets hit when he hits me in the eye. That is the
Dang.
hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
Oof.
Um, no secrets. I lost that fight. He didn't knock me out, but in amateur MMA, if you get knocked down 3 times in a round, then they call the fight
Hmm.
to like save you. It's like a TKO.
Yeah.
And he hit me hard and it knocked me down 3 times in the first round. I didn't even make it out of the first round with this dude. Yeah, I think
Dang.
things really went wrong because like he was a boxer, so I started kicking him. I started kicking the hell out of him. I was dancing around, I was kicking him, I was trying to
Hmm.
escape like these giant haymakers he was throwing at me. And at one point he realized that his arms were long enough to punch me while I was kicking him. Like his arms were as long as my fucking legs. And then
Okay,
it was
great.
over after that.
That's
So
horrible. Yeah.
it didn't last long after that.
Oof, man,
But
that sounds
that's
rough.
speaking of breaking bones, that's where I broke this finger. I tried to grab onto him. He punched my hand into my eye socket and I broke my finger in my eye socket.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a terrible time, man. It was not a good experience.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds rough. That sounds rough. Um, add that to the column of why I never really wanted to get into fighting, like
Oh
competition.
man, yeah,
I like the
and
practice of it. It's fun to spar. It's a fun way to work out, but like, I'm not trying to get out there and actually compete.
especially as an amateur, like I hear setups like that happen all the time. You know what I mean? It's the hometown
Hmm.
hero. They like lie a little bit about the information. So they sink somebody in for the hometown hero to beat up and make a big name. I think he ended up just going to boxing after that. I think he like pursued a professional card after that.
I see.
But yeah, I was the I was, what is that called? The patsy? What is it? I was the
Ooh, I
fucking
guess. Is
I
that
don't
where
know.
Patsy comes from?
Maybe
Maybe. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. This episode turned into a little bit of like Scarred, right? We were
a
just
little
talking
bit,
about
a
old
little
injuries.
bit. All that
Yeah.
to say, don't lean back on the swings, kid. It'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Be careful on the playground.
Yeah, man. I remember this is making me think about all the times I got injured as a kid, especially around swings, because like you gotta jump out of a swing. You can't
Oh,
not
for
jump out of a
certain.
swing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
absolutely.
It's a rite of passage. You gotta
As
do it.
high as you're comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
sometimes higher,
remember.
depending on what the person next to you did.
Oh, absolutely. If the person next to you went higher, you got to go higher.
Oh, for
Or if they went
sure.
further, you got to go further.
Oh,
Like
yeah, that's the
you
best
can't.
one. The distance
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
yeah. That was my favorite one. We
You didn't have to go high for that one, so I also like that one a lot.
yeah, yeah. It was about like angle and timing.
Yes.
But man, you'd come out of that swing fast.
Yes,
Uh,
seriously. Especially as big boys, man, with all that momentum. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
shoo, come out real quick. One time I was in elementary school, and our elementary school playground was like mostly those like tiny, smooth river rocks, like the gravel, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they still do that. I don't know what they make playgrounds out of these days, but it was just a big field of that. So it was adjacent to sand, but it was bigger than that. So it was like closer to gravel, but it was also smooth, so it didn't really hurt if you fell into it.
What every 90s
Um,
playground was made out of. Yeah.
yeah, it was great. It was perfect for the swing game because you could swing and land and that stuff, and it was soft. It would catch you. You're good. But there was obviously a limit to this, and the whole thing was bordered by these huge. They were like 8x8 logs. You know what I'm
Railroad
talking about?
ties. Yeah. It's like
Oh,
big
that's
ass
what they
railroad
are.
ties. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just huge hunks of wood. And one time I swung and jumped so far, I made it all the way to the edge of that, and
Oh
so
no.
I like hit and slid and fell forward and just headbutt that piece of wood
Oh
forehead
shit.
first.
Oh man, that explains a lot, honestly.
Yeah, probably does. Not the only time I injured my head when I was young, but definitely one of them. And swing related, I remember that. I still remember like,
That had to be a concussion for sure.
oh, probably, but like I think I was like 10, 9, somewhere in that range. So I'm pretty sure I just sat there for like 10 minutes and then got up and was fine.
You
Like I don't
just
even know
didn't
if a
give a
teacher
fuck.
or an adult even saw that it happened. Yeah.
Probably not. All your friends were like, "Ooh,
Ooh.
damn."
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And no one tells anybody because no one wants to get in trouble. It's like
Right, right.
if we tell Mrs. What's her
We can't
fuck.
swing anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna take away the swings. It's gonna be conversations. Our parents are gonna know. No way am I
Hmm.
telling
Yeah, no shot. You
Mister
don't
Who's it
tell.
What's. Yeah,
Snitches get stitches.
yeah, exactly, exactly. bred in us from a very young age. You do not
Mm-hmm.
tattle.
Mm-hmm. Man, I remember even if you did tattle on somebody, the adults would get mad at that person and all that stuff would happen.
Yeah,
And then one of them would turn to you and go, never tattle on anybody. Like, that was a
straight
horrible
up,
thing for you. Like, you would get shamed for tattling on the person, even though they did
bro.
something wrong.
Listen, in kindergarten, there's this kid. I think his name was. It doesn't matter. Michael, I think was his name, but he got held. This was kindergarten, and he should have been a
Mhm.
second grader. He got held back a couple of years. This was a big
Okay.
fucking kid, and
Yeah.
the only thing I remember is he was. These were we had cubbies, right? It wasn't lockers. It was cubbies.
Yeah, yeah. Cubbies. I remember. Yeah.
He had shoved me in the cubby and was punching me in my chest. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And one of the girls in class told the teacher, I can't even remember the teacher's name. This is how, but this was like a core memory for me. Mrs. Who's uh, Michael is beating up Dax. And she turns to her and says, "Stop tattling. Don't tattle." And then like Michael naturally stops when he hears that happen. So it's like
Yeah.
we just went back and sat down. She continued, she was reading a book in front of the class, and she continues reading the book in front of the class like nothing happened. And ooh man, I think I went home and told my mom that I was getting beat up, and she tore that school up, bro.
Oh, I
Tore
bet you
that
did.
school apart. Ooh, it was a whole thing.
I bet she did. I'm sure she was pissed. I don't even know honestly where that comes from. Like just the
The not tattling
general
thing,
like not
yeah, it's
tattle
kind of
thing.
crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is a little crazy when you think about it. It's like, hey, if you see someone doing something wrong, but there's not an authority figure also seeing it, just shut your mouth.
Yeah, don't involve
Like,
yourself.
who came up with that rule? The mob? Like, what are you talking
Fucking,
about?
I don't know. At this point, I think Epstein's involved in everything, so probably
Oh,
Epstein.
shit. You hear about the dang school photos guy?
Yeah, yep.
That's crazy.
They
That was
took
crazy.
they do photo. They our kids' school was they did photos for that, so they like had to release a whole announcement that they were finding a new. They were delaying picture day because they were
Yeah,
finding a new vendor. So yeah, did hear about that.
crazy. Ugh,
Absolutely insane. Yeah,
ugh.
disgusting.
And
Disgusting. I
that,
could go on. There could be a whole episode. We won't. We try to avoid that type of thing. But I could
yeah.
do a whole episode on just ranting about how disgusted I am about that whole situation.
Oh, I know. Maybe if people are interested, we'll start a separate channel, like a
Perhaps. Yeah.
current events channel. But yeah, that's all crazy. I school was pretty wild. I
Back in the
remember
day,
some of the stuff we
back
got
in our
taught.
day.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like we lived through, we always talk about, we got into this even, I think, in an earlier episode about generational changes and stuff. And we talk about
Mm-hmm.
technology and how we grew up through technology. And I feel like the big millennial grab is always the Wild West of the early internet.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
that was always pretty crazy. And that's what I feel like I hear people talking about a bunch. But the other thing we don't really talk about is how we also lived through the kind of transition of like biased history and science and math into unbiased history, science and math and shit. Like, I remember getting taught that Columbus discovered America and then having to unlearn that in subsequent years because that's not actually what happened at all.
Yeah, so this is actually really interesting because I recently had this revelation. So it's interesting that you bring it up. I love playing Civilization 6, or
Mm-hmm.
like any of the civilizations, really. I think 7 is the
Yeah.
most recent installment. And in Civilization, you progress the world through, or your country through eras. It starts in the like ancient era, medieval era, classical era, whatever. There's like all these eras that you progress through time, and in the end there's like the information era and the tech, like super tech era. You get into like some future things, and I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that the information era was like as early as like the 70s 80s or whatnot, but honestly I think we're currently living through the information era. Like
Hmm.
what we thought the information era was before was not, and we are like actually living through the genesis even of the information era as things become less biased, and like historical bias or even forced bias is being massively uncovered through like this age of discovering all this corruption and whatnot.
Yeah, I think 100% that's what's going on. I also think that's part of the reason everything looks so bad right now. It's because we're just uncovering things that had always been happening and most people thought were normal, and we're
Yeah,
realizing now they were not normal. But yeah, like 100%. So many things changed. Like Pluto not being a planet anymore was like a big one for people. But so many things changed about our understanding about things. And a lot of stuff came to light about how so much bias and influence was like forced into work and information that was released even into schools. That was the weirdest part about it, I think, for me. Because like you learn in your regular everyday life, social life, new things, and like people tell you something was true, but it's not anymore, blah, blah. But it's different when you're a kid in school and you have like teachers telling you, hey, we used to think this thing and it's wrong. Like, this is the truth now of it. I think the
yes.
context of it just makes it more impactful.
Oh, definitely. I also think like as you become an adult, you like harden to those things. Like you're more distrusting of other people and more
Hmm.
trusting of your own personal experiences. So it's that whole like the ability to change your opinion when you're presented with new information. It definitely takes research and whatnot, but I think as an adult, when someone tells you, well, that's not true, we actually recently discovered that it was like this, you're like, fucking no. Because Mrs. What's her
Yeah.
fuck told me that the previous thing was not true and it's actually this. So I know that it's this and fuck you. And it's because,
Yeah.
you know, at some point, a lot of people do just stop learning and don't have the
True.
time or even energy to like dive into new information, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's just one of them things, man. It's one of them rough things growing up.
Yeah, it was interesting. I wonder if, in a small way, that does make millennials slightly more open minded when it comes to like fundamental information changing and like being accepting of that just as a generation. Because I feel like all of my
Because
formative
we lived
years
through that.
was just that. It was just
Yeah.
constant people discovering things that like changed foundational thoughts about stuff for
Maybe.
sure.
I think each generation is a spectrum for sure. Just like, you know,
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. No, nobody's a
what
monolith, right?
yeah, there's no monolith in anything. So like I think that there are probably people in previous generations, probably like you said, millennials are more likely. And then generations after that even more likely, and so on and so forth. And maybe at some point we will have a generation that is just like wholly accepting, maybe too accepting. We have to go the other way around, right? They just become like ultimately gullible. Things like tend to do that sort of
Yeah.
bullshit, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like gullibility will be an interesting thing to watch, as especially as like AI and generative AI become more and more prevalent and like
We might be closer
determining
than we
what's
think,
real and what's
honestly.
not. Yeah, that's like a crazy thing to think about. Part of it, I think, is I was thinking about this the other day too. Um, what I say this quite a bit, and it's also because we're in marketing. It's a good rule of thumb in marketing. But if you want to waste money or time, try to change someone's mind.
Mm,
Like if you read books about being persuasive and stuff, the biggest thing they will always tell you is like getting someone to admit that they're wrong or like change their mind on something is one of the most difficult things you can do, right?
yeah,
We all like experience this, I think, even anecdotally in our daily lives. People around us, just even over silly things, people can be stubborn and like hold on to what their initial thought was.
big
Like,
time.
even if it makes no difference, not just talking about like big social things. Um, and I was thinking about this, and it's like so many people I feel are so concerned with being wrong. Like, mostly what they care about is not that is being not wrong. They try really hard to not be wrong.
And they kind of take it personally, right? It's like a personal
Yeah,
attack on their
it's like an
intelligence.
insult if they're
Yeah,
wrong about something. Yeah, 100%. And it's like, oddly enough, being concerned with being wrong is not the same thing as being concerned with being right.
unfortunately. Isn't that a
Yeah,
weird kind of dichotomy?
exactly. Like I think that's the huge, or I think that's a big issue, right? I feel like if you're focused on being right, then if you are wrong, it doesn't really matter. It's giving you an opportunity to get closer to what right is, and right is the goal.
Yeah.
But if you're concerned about being wrong, then it doesn't really matter what right is. You just won't, you will avoid the status of wrong, right? And that is almost backwards. Like it defeats the purpose, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, and I think you're less like this when you're a child because you can, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay as a child to admit that you're still learning. But as an adult, there's like this expectation that you're supposed to have everything figured out.
Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to
So
know
like,
already.
yeah, as an adult, I think you harden to being wrong more than you're in the pursuit of being right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the opposite expectation, at least when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting stuff. Uh,
You know, the most interesting thing that I learned, I don't know, I don't know that I learned it recently. Maybe I did learn it. I don't know. It's, you know, it's the whole Africa thing. Did you see Speed going to Africa and like
saw
showing?
like clips of it, but I haven't like watched the streams.
So the big thing that everyone's talking, I didn't watch the streams either. I watched like clips and videos, but the big thing that
Okay.
everyone's talking about is like how he's showing the rest of the world that Africa is like not this tribal impoverished continent. Like it's actually a
Mm-hmm.
continent that's full of ranges of people and like
Mm-hmm.
actually has some very very wealthy and extremely developed countries. Most of the countries in Africa are have some form of wealth and are well developed, right? Including Ethiopia, which like if you think about what we learned about Ethiopia in school, it was basically like a desert with nothing but starving people and the
Yeah,
skinniest cows that I've ever seen
and
on
like
TV.
malaria or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just this
Mm-hmm.
country ravished by famine.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, really interesting. And it's not that I don't think that I haven't learned that. I just haven't had to think about it. And thinking about it like dawns on me how we're really there's like a lot of American propaganda, bro, that
Mm-hmm.
we're like force fed at a really, really young age about being like the best nation, the brightest nation. And we have like examples of these other nations that are not as good and are poor. And if you move there, it will suck and you'll get malaria and won't have any food. And we go over there as this Christ-like country and build schools for them. And you know, that stuff definitely happens in the poorer areas of those countries, but
Yeah,
that is not
philanthropy exists.
representative of the entire country, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such a big thing. And it becomes so normalized for so long that you have people that spent the vast majority of their lives believing that and being validated in that belief. And
Yeah,
then now they're being told to reconcile that everything they've believed for the last like so many decades is just wrong. And it's like, that's that concern about being wrong again. Like, I don't really care what's right. I just care that you're telling me I'm wrong.
big time, big
Yeah.
time.
But like, history is crazy. Like, I feel like that it's been so changed throughout time. And this is a little bit changing subject, getting away from current topics, but this is the topic I told you I wanted to bring up. So I'm glad we're kind of talking about this
Okay,
anyway.
bet.
Looking at historical information through a new lens, like a modern sort of objective lens. And
Mm-hmm.
something I was thinking about just a couple days ago was, I think that like mysticism and witches, like people like that throughout history, were actually people with OCD.
Wait,
That's my thought. Hear me
you
out.
that
Hear
those
me
are
out.
two very
Hear me out.
distant dots. We got to
Hear me out.
connect that
I'll
somehow.
connect it.
All right, yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah.
connect it
I'll
for
wait.
you.
Give me whatever line you got for this.
So, one of the big aspects of OCD is something called like mystical thinking. And it's the idea that, like, if I don't flip this light switch 4 times, like my husband will die in a car wreck today. Right.
Okay, heard
That's
that.
what OCD thinks like, right? It's they have obsessive and intrusive thoughts, usually of something bad happening, and they will develop like a compulsion, which is like a ritual of some type. It's not always what you see on like Monk, where it's like I said, flipping a light switch or washing your hands, right? Those are the ones you see on TV a bunch, or like
The
touching
popularized one.
mirrors, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be all kinds of things. It can be just thoughts or like mantras you say out loud, or like chewing gum, or like something random, right? But that's kind of the bracket OCD falls into. It's like you have these intrusive thoughts about something negative happening, and you develop a compulsion to help deal with that. And like if you take that lens and you look back at like rituals and stuff that develop out of witchcraft, it's like, look, if I don't burn this sage and walk clockwise around my son's house, a demon will possess him. Like, like, wait a
Okay, you're
minute,
not wrong.
wait a minute, wait a
You're not
minute.
wrong.
Hold on. What do you mean I gotta burn 5 candles in the shape of a pentagram while I chant these words 3 times over in a dark room, or something bad will happen to my wife? It's like, bruh,
Wow.
someone's like OCD mom was like, was sitting in her house, like making her little bone drawings on the table, and like some brigand breaks into their kid's house and kills their family, and she's like, see, I told you. Like, my ritual would have protected him.
That's crazy. I didn't see any way whatsoever for you to be able to connect those dots. But now that you've said it, I'm kind of believing it. I
It makes
kind
a
of
lot of
feel it.
sense,
It
right?
does make some sense. It does.
Yeah. Put yourself as somebody with OCD back in an ancient world where people didn't know anything about that and everything was explained by magic or gods, right? And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my God is just telling me, if I don't do this thing, if I don't know what a ritual is, if I don't leave my stones out in the moonlight overnight, like, then that I won't be protected from bad energy or demons. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that's
Yeah.
very much OCD thinking, like developing some kind of weird ritual that you can do to cleanse a space or something like that. It's
Yeah.
like, honey,
Chicken's
that's
blood
OCD.
makes your whatever, put chicken's blood on your door and
Yeah,
it keeps out the
right.
demons or whatever. Yeah.
Or hang mistletoe or whatever the thing is, keep garlic around to keep vampires away, or like whatever the
Seriously.
random thing is. That's OCD. That's what OCD is.
That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. And to think that modern medicine was kind of formulated off of some of that stuff.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know, but just eat this plant I found and like see if it
And
works.
it
Like,
works.
sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and we kept the ones that did work. So it's
Yeah.
like
That's
it's
very fair.
it's weird to think that like religion and medicine may have developed out of OCD people just trying different random things until stuff stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And every time the ritual went wrong, there was like a change, right?
you would
There was a
tweak it or
change
do
in it.
something different.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't do it quite right. I didn't do it quite
Hmm.
right. It must be like this. That's
Yep.
insane. What made you think about that? You sitting around thinking about witches? Are you
I
often like
honestly
cooking up rituals at home?
I honestly don't know. I think I was watching something that talked about like ancient demons and witchcraft and stuff like that. And I think I had the thought, I might have been having a conversation with Samantha, and she kicked it off. I'm not really sure, but for whatever reason, I just sort of drew that connection. I was like, wait a minute, all these like witch rituals feel very much like OCD compulsions, like burning sage and like all the random stuff. I can't think of any right now, but like, you know what I'm talking about. The
That's
putting
just the
salt, like
strangest.
salt circles and stuff around, like things like that. It's like, that's That's what OCD people do. That's how they think.
That's just the strangest shower thought I've ever heard of in my life. Like for
Yep.
you to just like ping, that shit is incredible. I don't think my brain even works like that. Honestly,
Tell me
I
I'm
would
wrong
never
though.
draw that connection. I'm not. I can't. I
Yeah.
can't. One, not a witch. Two, far too young. Yeah, have no idea, but it sounds correct. It sounds correct.
Yeah. I think about the stories, even like all the way back in the Bible and stuff about mystics and like having visions. And I think historically people now kind of draw conclusions that like exorcisms were likely people with schizophrenia, right? Or like having like some sort of psychosis or something like that. And it's like you can almost explain away like most things in human history by understanding mental health and like how mental health played into it.
Yeah, and I think we overall still don't understand a lot of that.
Very true. Yeah, learning every day.
But I gotta know: are you team wish magic was real, or are you team like no way, no magic ever?
Bro, I am so wish magic is real. It's not even funny.
Me too. Me too. But it's
Hmm.
also like that's scary, right? That's a scary responsibility. We don't even have magic in this world. And like
Yeah.
humanity as a whole can't even like bear the responsibility of the science that we've discovered,
Right,
right?
right.
Imagine if we get a hold of some fucking magic, bro. That's honestly like super scary. Like I'm team magic, but like it has to be controlled by some type of divine entity that like chooses
There's
only
got to
the
be a
people that would
balance.
never abuse it to fucking be
Right.
magic. You know what I mean? Because if you get
Yeah.
some magic abusers up in there, terrifying, terrifying. Like Voldemort didn't even touch what the type of cruelty and scary shit that like uncontrolled magic could be. Like he was walking around killing people. Wait, bro, you ain't if you got magic, you ain't got to walk around to kill people. You know what I mean? Use
Yeah.
fucking
Potentially
whatever
don't
you
even
can
have to
formulate
move.
in your mind. You know what I mean? Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's got to be controlled by somebody. But I want it. I want it
I
real
want it.
bad.
I want it
Mostly
so
because I want
bad
to be
too.
lazy. Just fucking bring me that
How cool
thing.
would that?
Yeah,
Everyone
this thing
thinks
over
about
here.
fucking what is it, Fantasia, where like the broom and everything is just cleaning the house like
Yes.
around, just like magically. I also think it's in like was it the Sword and the Stone or whatever? Merlin like casts a
Maybe.
spell and
It
his whole
is a
little
pretty
house starts
common
cleaning
thing.
up and like dishes get done. Yeah, that very much using magic to just clean everything up.
I'm
Like
saying, man.
it'd be great. Yeah, I.
Magic
It's a big
to keep your
reason.
kids in line. No, that might be a little much. But you know what I'm
That might
saying,
be a
bro.
little much. A little much. Yeah. But
So all
yeah.
of a sudden, like sealing kids' lips shut. It's like, no, all of
Nope.
you shut up.
This magic only works on people under 18 or whatever. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's weird too. Never mind.
Yeah, you maybe we move along from the
Never mind.
magic conversation.
Moving on.
Maybe you're not the type of person that gets magic, Kevin.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, that's part of the reason I'm so into like the history of the occult and like studying specifically mystic history stuff. I'm not like a folklore person. I don't want to know what people believed. I only want to know what they believed to try to divine some truth from it. And if I
Mm.
find that there wasn't any truth to be found, I just move on. I like don't remember it.
Well,
Uh,
I think that they probably did more opium than the entire state of Ohio because like golly, you
the
want to talk
state
about
of
an
Ohio.
yeah, isn't that where the opium epidemic is real bad right now?
Yes.
I don't know.
Sure.
Ohio, if I called you out and I was wrong, I'm
So
sorry.
sorry for
I don't know.
catching
I think it's
strays.
like a nationwide thing. But yeah, so there when opium was legal and you could just have it,
Hmm.
I'm sure it was even worse. So like, yeah, sure, these people probably believed in all kinds of crazy shit. Their brains were riddled with the earliest form of heroin we've created.
Hmm. Hmm. And like, man, the 1800s specifically are crazy, like wild times. Victorian people did some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I guess they were just bored. I don't really know.
Oh,
The aristocracy
absolutely.
was just
All of this came from boredom, bro.
bored.
And Matt,
Yeah, just
there
being
wasn't
bored.
shit to do. Like
Nothing to do.
even books were rare. You know what I mean? Because they
Mm-hmm.
were all fucking printed, hand printed on a printing press, and
Mm-hmm.
you had to
And they were
arrange
mostly
individual
informational.
fucking
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they were bored as shit. So fuck
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they were doing opium and getting together and trying weird shit to see what if they could like
Seances and
divine some magic or talk to spirits or whatever.
yeah.
They also believed that the fucking ravens making noises in the woods were fucking like what were they called? What did you say?
Oh yeah.
Wendigos or whatever.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
Wendigos. Yeah.
So
Or
yeah,
like skinwalkers.
they were bored as shit. They were gullible as shit. There was not enough
Yeah.
information for them to
Everyone
debunk
still
shit.
heavily believed in all the magic shit. Like
Yes.
heavily
Yes.
believed in all the magic shit.
So yeah, crazy time. Mostly, I think honestly, a lot of shit it came out of boredom, right? Fucking
Mm-hmm.
all the wars back in the day, man, they were just bored, bro. They were bored and they were picking fights. You know what I
Well,
mean? What
yeah,
do you
because they
do
got nothing
when
else to
you're
do.
young, bored, got a lot of power? You pick a fight with somebody, you know, because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
You grow up dreaming about like stories about knights and
Glory.
fighting and battle and glory and shit. So yeah, I'm gonna pick a fight with my neighbor and go to war. So borders were changing all the time. Now we
Mm-hmm.
got so much to do. You know what I mean? There's so many other things to do other than fucking fight people, and not that that stopped anything from happening, but
yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
there's more stuff to do now. We don't believe in
Boredom is
magic
less of a
anymore.
problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. 'Cause, yeah, they were doing some weird stuff. I swear, like, I don't even know. This is maybe earlier than that, but I swear, like, Victorian era nobles would eat mummies. Did you hear about that?
Uh no.
Yeah. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Like, would get mummy from Egypt. That's part of the reason we have so few examples of like mummified people from Egypt, even though it's a relatively common practice, because they ate them. They ate them.
You're fucking with me, right?
Bruh. I hope I'm not, because if I am, I'm not doing it on purpose.
That
Hold
is
on.
possibly the most horrifying thing I've heard in a really long time. I'm living through the age of the Epstein files right now, so you're taking the cake. That is disgusting.
Okay, so it's 15th century Europe. So it's a bit earlier than that, around the 1400s. Uh, Hold on, excuse me, Nat Geo making me subscribe. Rude.
Honestly,
Um,
back then mummy probably tasted better than the food that they had, to be honest with you.
yeah, probably. Honestly, food back then was pretty rough. There are some channels that like make food from back then. I don't want to
I've
go too
seen
deep down
this.
the mummy eating rabbit hole. So let's move on to food, other foods that they ate back then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're disturbing me a little bit here, but I've seen these and
yeah,
one if you put some seasoning on it, it probably tastes pretty good.
100%.
Um, but two, like, how does this guy find all of these ingredients or like understand? Like, some of these are like words that you don't even see anymore, and it's like the
Hmm.
closest version of this vegetable we think is this vegetable. So, like, the amount of research this guy does to be able to even get there is pretty crazy. I think.
Yeah, he's got to be some kind of historian. I don't know his name. I feel horrible that we're talking about him on a podcast and not like linking it. Maybe you can find it in the edit or someone who knows.
I'm sure our 20 fans will figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't know where he finds this. Like, did he go to school for it? I don't know anything about his background, but yeah, some of the stuff they're eating. There's this other channel that like Sam turned me on to that's, God, I can't remember the name of this either, but I'll see if I can find it and send it to you in case you haven't seen it. But they talk about like the real, like day to day life of people in different time periods. Like, what
Oh,
was
I
it
may have
actually
seen.
like to be a medieval peasant? And
Yeah,
like,
I may have seen. I may have seen.
yeah, and like, man, I know we've
Their
talked about
days
this
were mostly
before.
just chilling and sleeping.
Yeah, like, and honestly, trying to stay not sick,
Yeah, a lot of
like
that.
just
A lot of that.
avoiding being sick.
Because you
When
would
we
get
went
your
to,
work done in the first like 6 hours of the day. You would
yeah,
like wake up before the sun came up and you would work the first 6 hours of the day and then
yeah,
you would be done. And it
yeah,
was a lot of just hanging out
just
and
sitting
drinking.
around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they had to drink too. When we went to Ireland, they told us about this. So, like, the water was unsafe. It was unsanitary
Yeah.
water. The only way to make it, they didn't know this because they didn't know how any of this works. They just knew that if you drank water, you would get sick. But if you drank beer, you didn't. So they
Yep.
made beer. They made everything into some form of alcohol because the alcohol would be a disinfectant. It would kill all of the bad stuff in the drink. So even like little kids, like everybody drank alcohol
Drinking ale.
because
Mm-hmm.
you had to. If you didn't, you would get sick.
Crazy times.
Yeah, it's wild stuff, man. I do not want to go back. That was a whole other episode, not to revisit it again, but man, I do not want to go back there. Like sleeping on hay with bugs in it and shit. And like,
Ah, dude.
dude, they
Yeah.
would
The
talk about rats
nasty.
falling out of their thatch ceilings on them
Yep.
while, like, oh my God, no.
The toilets, bro. The toilets. I remember we
Ooh.
went on a trip to London. I think they still have a row, maybe not anymore, but they used to have a row of the old toilets that would be in London, and it would be on the bank of the river. So like the water would come and wash everything away, but there was a women's row. It was like back to back bench, so like a double bench with just
Mm-hmm.
holes in it, right? And there
Mm-hmm.
was a row for women and a row for men, and the women's side would have a stick with a sponge tied to the end of it, and they would just like you'd use that one. Didn't matter who you were, everyone would use that one. And the men's side would have
Oh,
a like a seashell, like one of those like large clam shells, and that's what they would like use to clean themselves with.
dude. First off, could you imagine getting like a hemorrhoid and then having to
Ooh,
use like a
a
seashell?
clam shell to
Yeah,
scrape your asshole.
God. Oh man,
Yeah,
how
no,
horrible.
horrifying. And the fact, I mean, ew. I guess would you like wash it in the water of the river and then use
I
it?
would
I don't
hope.
know.
There
Oof.
was always that one asshole that didn't wash it and would just put it back. And
Yeah,
everybody in
would
the
just
town
like
complained
use
about
it
him.
and put it down. Oh
Yeah,
god. Oh. Yeah, so
disgusting.
when I watch things like Bridgerton where it's like all romanticized and all these people are like around each other and everything's happy, I'm like his breath smells bad, her breath smells bad. They would not be
Everyone stinks.
standing that close talking to each other, right? The dress is
Mm-hmm.
made that way to keep the under smells from coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have, well, maybe they had chamber pots, you know what I mean? But all those maids smelled like shit because their fucking cuffs were covered in shit from emptying your chamber pot, right? People
Mm-hmm.
were, those beautiful gardens that you see, people were shitting in them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh
like,
god,
ooh, disgusting. And everybody is sweaty as fuck because everyone is hot as fuck.
hot
Everyone
as
is hot.
hell, bro.
Like
Yeah,
just cooking constantly inside those
yeah.
homes. They didn't have air conditioning or like airflow. They
Nope.
would open a window, but if it were hot and humid outside, it'd be extra hot and humid inside. Could you imagine like a summer's night on like the French countryside? It gets hot. Like
Oh, for
France gets hot
sure.
in the summer.
Yeah, they get in the
And you
hundreds. Yeah.
now let's pack 200 nobles all with 4 to 8 layers of clothing on each into this ballroom, like just stuff a ton of people into a ballroom.
Yep. With
You got
the
people
candles
dancing,
going so you can
music,
see.
catering,
You got
fire everywhere.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got big chandeliers that are all just fire, like
And torches and shit. Yeah.
just
Oof.
a sauna, just constantly cooking.
Be
It sounds
terrible.
horrific. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was specifically, wasn't it the Palace of Versailles that had no bathrooms in it?
Oh, maybe.
I
Ugh,
think it was
that's
Versailles had no bathrooms built into it. So it was the gardens, those like beautiful gardens of Versailles that you see were also bathrooms. They would
oh
double as
my god.
bathrooms.
Oh man. And just do you just go nose blind? Was everyone back then just nose blind and just couldn't smell it because it was so constant?
I would have to imagine. I would have to imagine it was like that. And there were
Yeah.
probably, I mean, the richer you were, the more perfume you had. You know what I mean? But
True.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there was like a constant undertone of just basic shit and BO smell that was
Oh,
just acceptable. You know what I mean?
yeah. I can't even imagine having sex in
Oh,
any of that
nope.
environment. Could you imagine?
I
Could you
I think
like?
about that often. You watch like
Yeah,
a movie from back in the day, and they start going at it, and you're like, "Ooh, bro, like it is probably
no,
not a super pleasant."
you're
Maybe
all
again,
sweaty and
you
dirty.
probably have like a certain ability to block it out. You have like this,
Be unaware of it. It's so constant.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's constant. But like, bro, I'm sure it was bad.
It'd be. I just think about you know field workers, sailors,
Ooh.
dock workers, and they would like get off, and then they would go to like a whorehouse and like
Mm-hmm.
sleep with a whore, and it's just just like those poor women. Can you imagine how disgusting those
Mm.
men would be coming in?
Oh yeah.
Like, hopefully they had buckets or something and were like able to wash or rinse themselves off at least
I don't
beforehand.
know,
It's just,
man.
I can't imagine being grimy and sweaty and gross working
I'm sure. I'm
all
sure the
day.
women were the same though. I'm sure they were also
Ugh.
grimy and sweaty. And I mean, shit, you could probably smell the whorehouse from down the street, bro.
Yeah, probably,
Hey, it was probably
probably.
straight morning ladies up in there all the time. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
woof, woof. Just all of it. All of it sounds horrible.
Well, if you haven't clicked off yet, hopefully you're not doing this during a meal. Goddamn, I think
Yeah,
we're gonna move off of that into a game. Let's make this a little bit more
let's
pleasant,
do that.
Kevin.
Let's do a
Let's
game.
get into
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
A
We're talking
game.
about
This was a
injuries and
fucking
nasty old
gross fucking
stuff.
episode,
It's
man.
gross
Oh
that
my god, what
we
have we
have to
done?
warn people. Yeah,
Um,
jeez.
to today, Kevin, on suggestion from Kirsty, actually, my wife, we are going to play Google Feud.
Let's do
Yes,
it.
some Google Feud. So this, I think, is like Family Feud with Google searches.
Okay,
Um, so let's get in
let's get
here.
it
We're
started.
gonna. This is going to be a discovery for you and for me. I have not played with this website yet. I just pulled it up.
Is it a
Um,
versus thing? Or are
I
we
think
working
I think we
together?
can. I think we work together to finish it, but maybe we score each other based on the like amount of points because it'll be like ranked, just like
Okay, I see you. Yeah, yeah.
so maybe we make it like a together and versus thing. Let's
Okay.
I don't know where I put my handy dandy notebook. That's all right. I have a card here.
Not so
Still
handy
have my
dandy, I guess.
it was handy, less dandy, I think.
Ah, okay. Damn. Hate when
D
my
for,
notebook gets less dandy.
yeah. D for Dax, B for bitch. Oh, wait, Mr.
Mr.
B,
Bitch to you.
Mr. Bitch, indeed. All right, so let's choose a category. We got culture, people, names, questions, animals, entertainment, food, easy mode, I'm feeling lucky, and question of the day. I'm going to guess that I'm feeling lucky is probably random. Question of the day is probably
Mm.
something topical. And then I'm not even going to give us the option to go into easy mode. So,
That button doesn't
um,
exist.
yeah, that button does not exist. Pretend like it's not there. Kevin, choose your category.
I'm going to start off with animals.
Animals. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Basic. All right, let's see.
Basic.
Many cats like to eat blank.
Bruh.
We have
You want to try?
1,000
You
all
want
the
to
way
read
up to
that one more time?
10,000. My cat likes to eat blank. Oh, Lord. Today's been a day.
It's one of them.
Evidently, I can't read. Okay, my cat likes to eat blank. Kevin, you chose the category. I'll allow you to go first.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm going to go with plants.
Plants.
Plants. What?
Er,
Crazy.
Incorrect.
I'm
Incorrect.
baffled by that.
I'm going to go with the obvious answer. I feel like here, I've seen at least dogs do it. I feel like this is overall like a domestic animal thing. I'm going to go with poop.
Yeah, are
No
cats poop eaters?
way.
Hmm.
No way. Oh no, this is looking bad for us
We're gonna
already,
have a
Kevin.
hard time.
Maybe
All
we
right, we
should have
got
gone
one
to
more.
fucking easy mode, bro.
Okay, okay, hold on. This one will be there for sure, for sure. Grass.
Grass. Grass for
Oh, okay,
8,000 points. Well done,
okay,
Mr.
okay, okay.
Bitch. 8,000. This is going to involve math, and this is going to get really tough on me later. All right. I'm going to go. My cat likes to eat weed. Should I say? I don't think any of these words are long enough to be marijuana, so I'm just going to say weed. No fucking way. No
Ooh,
way. There's not enough stoners searching on Google, I
that was
guess.
a quick one. I'm so curious. Will it? It looks like it'll let us keep going.
Yeah, I think so. I figured it would like tap us out.
Oh, was that round one? I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. I guess there's a give up button, so I guess we can keep going.
Oh,
Bless
excuse
you.
me. Goodness.
All right, Kevin,
Another
back to you.
guess.
My cat likes to eat what? What does your cat like to eat, Kevin?
Man, my cat doesn't eat much at all, honestly. She likes her food and chicken. You know what? Fuck it.
Chicken?
Chicken. I don't know why people would be Googling that, but
Nope.
damn.
Four X's. Oh, four X's was it. That was all we get. So
Mm.
we've got plastic, dog food, grass, my hair, catnip, when I eat, bread, cardboard, plastic bags, and rose petals.
Ah, when I eat. That makes sense. Okay. We can go to round two, apparently. So maybe we do a couple of rounds of each category.
Okay, we can do animals again. Has a dog ever been blank? I think it's my go, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Has a dog ever been blank? That's a really long
That's
word
a
or
really long word.
answer down there for number 4,000. Um, I don't know. Cloned? No.
Mm. The first thing that popped into my head was gay.
Gay? Has a dog ever been gay? Is that
I
is that
feel
what
like
you
that's
want me to put
probably
in
not.
here?
I don't think that's one of them, but fucking do it. Dang.
Nope.
Okay.
Definitely
I
not.
never know. I mean, maybe.
I mean, at least not 1,000 people. Um,
Okay.
this is a hard one. Has a dog ever
It's a
been
tough game.
um, president? Nope.
Hmm. Put to space.
To space?
To space. Yeah, to space.
To space. Put to
To
space.
space. To space.
Oh,
Hey.
two of them. 11,000 there. I think
Look
it's
at
a little
that.
cheap that they would give you that they would make two of them the same, but okay.
Hey, look, we'll take what we can get at this point.
Wow. I think that's now
Maybe
that
we
you've
go
said
back to
it.
this being co-op. You
Maybe we
know.
do. Or maybe you're the only one that gets any right. I don't know. It's you just think like a commoner, and that's why.
Mhm,
Has a
mhm.
dog ever been um mm, yeah, I'm coming up real short. I'm coming up real short. Has a dog ever been um in the army? I don't know. Has a dog ever been um exploded?
Exploded.
I don't know. I don't
Like
know
in the
what to
army
put,
was
man.
better than exploded.
Has a dog ever been in the military? Nope.
Man.
I don't know, man. Struck by lightning, mated with a cat? Oh my gosh. Cured of
Oh,
lymphoma, on the moon, arrested.
cured of lymphoma.
I guess lymphoma happens in dogs. Never heard of
Okay.
that. To the top of
Top of
Mount
Mount
Everest,
skydiving. Wow.
skydiving, or on a roller
On a
coaster.
roller coaster. What are people asking about, man?
This
Maybe it's a
is
category. Maybe
Maybe
it's a
maybe it
category.
is the category. Maybe we get out of the animal category. I
Yeah,
don't. How do I?
I already got 19,000 points on you, so let's try.
You do. You did really fast math. Fast math.
It's
You
also
did
just totaled at the bottom of the screen.
quick math. Is it? Oh,
Well,
it
it
was.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick this time. I'm gonna pick ooh. Culture, people, names, questions, animals, entertainment, food. I love food.
Hmm.
Why is my bread blank? Why is my bread blank? I think oof. Why is my bread hard? Why is my bread hard?
That's got to be one. That's not
No
one.
way that's not one.
Dang. I'm gonna try stale.
I'm starting to. Is that how you spell it?
I think so. Damn.
Um, that would have been the answer to my question. Why is my bread hard? It's stale. Um,
Yeah. Word
why is my
stretch.
bread black? Why is my bread black?
Hmm.
No.
Why is
You
my
and I don't know
bread?
enough about bread.
Why is my bread? Why is my bread moldy? Come
Nope.
on.
We didn't get a single one.
So
Number
dense,
one was
not
so
rising.
dense.
Didn't think about baking questions. Of course, they're baking questions.
They're all baking questions. These are all, we're living through the age of the sourdough starter, right? So these are all
Yeah,
people fucking
true.
up their sourdough.
Dang. It feels so obvious now.
That's so annoying. Next round. Next round. Surely this one. Microwavable. Okay. Okay. Microwavable. So this has to be like varieties of foods that people want to be able to microwave. So like microwavable lasagna. Lasagna, yeah. No way.
Okay. I'm gonna think. I'm thinking this is more like utensils and stuff. So like plate.
Okay. Plate is a good one.
Shit.
No. Um container. Microwavable container. No
What?
way. Does this not count like shopping searches? It must not.
I don't
There's no
know.
way.
Because my next thought was bowl, but now I'm very concerned. But I still think bowl.
Yes?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Heating
Heating
pad,
pad.
rice, food, slippers, pork rinds,
Okay.
stuffed animals,
Microwavable
meals.
stuffed animals.
I thought meal, bacon, and popcorn makes sense. I
And
mean,
neck
these all
wrap.
make sense, but woof, just in the wrong direction.
I feel so
Like we're
self
bad at
conscious.
this.
Yeah, I feel like we're really bad at
we're
this.
we're horrible about this.
We've uncovered two and we've gone through four rounds. Uh,
Maybe we were
do we go
worried
back and
that.
try easy mode?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's try question of the day. Let's try question of the day.
Question of the day. Okay. Can you pet a blank? Um, can you pet a bug? Can you pet a bug?
I was thinking fish.
Can you pet a fish? Okay, this has got to be. We got to get into the realm of fucking weird, I guess. What are people asking if they can pet? Can you pet a red panda? Can you pet a red panda? People don't think like us, Kevin,
I guess
or
not.
we don't think like people. I don't know what's going on here.
Can you pet a
I feel
like? I'm with
like,
you that I feel like it's a weird animal.
bro, I watch Family Feud and I smash
I
that
feel like I'm so
shit.
much better at Family Feud. Should
I
we?
kill Family Feud.
Look, we've been
This
doing this
is
almost 10 minutes.
heartbreaking.
Maybe we swap to a Family Feud game. Can you pet a bear,
A bear? I have to see.
a seal, a manatee? I almost said porcupine. Son of a bitch! I should have said
Service
porcupine.
dog. Service dog was on my mind as well. I have pet a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are awesome. I love
Yeah, me
hedgehogs.
too. Yeah, they're fun.
Wow. We tied the average score for today. So at least we know that
Everybody else
we
sucks
are
at this.
everyone else really sucks at this game. The average score is 0 for
There's just
today.
so much. Yeah,
I have to see
we're
what
so
easy
open
mode
ended.
is. I have to see. Oh, we get the
Oh,
first
it gives you
two.
two. Okay.
So I feel like this one's
I
easy
mean,
because
you
we
know
just
that's got to be
list social platforms. What?
what? I would think like Instagram or Insta.
Number one, how to go viral on Instagram. I didn't think
Mm.
Instagram was relevant anymore as far
I'm
as like
surprised TikTok's
virality
not on
goes.
there.
I'm
And
really
I mean,
surprised.
it's this website from like 2012.
So I guess like maybe Twitch. No,
How to go viral on
on Giant Yawn. How did this?
Facebook?
If you're yawning and you're bored, this must be super boring for everyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Facebook? Oh
I
man, this
guess
has to
Meta
be
owns
like
this
this has
because
to be 12
Threads is
years
on
old.
here.
This is insane.
This site is run by Facebook. It was run by Meta because no shot Threads is making the list and TikTok isn't.
What the hell? How to go viral on Snapchat?
So I'm thinking like X or Twitter.
Wow, you just have all the answers. You have
I
all
guess
the
so.
answers today. Um, I'm really wondering what that long one is. The long one has to be like multiple words. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Threads is up here. Threads is like 2 years old, so we know that this has to be current.
It's current, but that's what makes me think it's owned by Meta because no who uses Threads? Like,
About the number of people that search that, the number of people that search
yeah.
that. I don't know. I think we're kind of late adopters. I do think Threads is becoming really popular, and I just refuse to download another social app.
Yeah, right.
How to go viral on what's a thing? We've listed all the things that I know you can go viral on. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'm getting into things that you can't go viral on, maybe. Um,
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, it's not bad.
Wait, wait. GoFundMe.
Shit.
TikTok over. So I put in TikTok
Without followers.
and I don't get overnight or without followers.
That's kind of crazy because he gave me that other one. He gave me
That's
two,
what
but he
I'm
didn't know
saying.
I didn't. Yeah.
Then we've got Pinterest, YouTube Shorts, and CoverStar.
Cover star.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
I am far too old for that.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Well, this
God, all the yawns.
this is yeah. That I mean to kind of sum up what this experience has been like. This has been a really great episode of Google Feud. I'm almost afraid to like do anything else
Do
because I'm
we? I'm
afraid I
just
won't know
curious.
it.
Is
Entertainment.
there like a Family Feuds game we could play?
I don't know. I'll let you look that up while I try to guess these Disney movies. Disney movie with a goat. Disney movie with a carpet. Disney movie with a genie. I'm like, I'm just trying to get Aladdin in here. I think I'm like, only Aladdin. Disney movie with a fish. Dragon, mouse, llama, bear, star, robot, beaver, monkey, bull, lizard. They were all, except for one, I guess two. They were all animals. Star and robot
Yeah,
were not animals.
ton of animals.
Did you find a Family Feud?
I think so. Let me see.
Is Darth Vader a Jedi? That was number 6. That's the first one I've gotten, Kevin. I got one.
Nice.
Is
Good
Darth Vader a
job.
Jedi? Is Darth Vader a hero? Ooh, is Darth Vader a villain or a hero? That was number 1 or number 1000. Um,
Hmm.
is Darth Vader a father? Nope. I mean,
Is
he
Darth
is
Vader a jerk?
a jerk, a jerk off. Is Darth Vader a jerk off? Um, is Darth Vader a robot?
I was just thinking that. Is Darth Vader a robot?
Ah,
Yeah.
that's 3000. That's a good one.
Try Cyborg, maybe? Same vein?
Cyborg. Ah, up to
E-
number 9. Nice. Is Darth Vader a ghost? I'm not going to say that.
Human?
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah, there we go. It's all just questioning his humanity at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day. Um, is Darth Vader a douche? Is Darth Vader a what is it? A Sith. There it is. Dang, 17
Nice.
grand with that one. I'm no longer recording score. This is now just us trying to see if we can complete one. If you
Just get
don't
a
find
whole one.
something else. Yeah. If we can get a whole one, I will be super happy.
Can you put Master or Jedi Master? I don't know if you would need both because you already said Jedi.
Yeah.
Shit.
Nope. We're down to our last wrong wrongness. Last wrongness. We can only be wrong one more time. I guess is the best way to say that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
is Darth Vader a what was it? No, none of those are long enough to be apprentice. Is Darth Vader,
Part of me wants to say Alien.
but then it would have to be an alien.
Yeah, but would it have to be,
Um, yes, it would. Is Darth Vader a alien? I don't know. I really don't know what else to put here. I'm trying to think of all like the Star Wars things. It's been so long since I've even watched any Star Wars movies.
Yeah, what, like a Mandalorian or something? But like,
A
I don't think that's
traitor? Is Darth Vader a traitor?
that's not bad.
Oh man.
Day.
Villain, good guy, bad guy. I had each of those run through my head, but since villain and hero unlocked with hero, I was almost sure that none of those were up there.
Oh, I see. I thought you put villain in for villain or hero.
No, I put in is he a hero and I got villain or
Mm.
hero.
Well,
Well,
if you want to spend 10 minutes, I did find a Family Feud game on the
did
Washington
you?
Post.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, why don't you just share it?
let's do that. Let me share it real quick. Ooh.
Let's see it, Kevin. Take over that game master spot.
There. Apparently, I'm playing against somebody.
Oh, online?
I guess so. Didn't realize that.
Nice. Well, you lost.
I guess so.
Heaven,
Okay.
heavenly you versus heavenly I. Okay.
Well,
That's fine. We can verse Heavenly Eye. We got this
We got this. Yeah, I think we'll win. I think we can do it.
for
Double
sure.
points,
We're going to
baby.
be way better at this than Google Feud. Name something specific a mortician might not put on someone if it's a closed casket. Well, closed is going to be
Ooh,
what?
dang.
Bro, these are normal people. Don't no one know what eye caps are?
Oh,
Clothes.
said makeup. Ooh, got it. Um,
Clothes.
dang, nice.
Bro, I've been saying it the whole time you wouldn't type shit.
Dang, not glasses.
Um, shit. Clothes, makeup. What else would they not put on them?
uh,
Hair. Oh, you
oh
already
yeah,
guessed makeup.
makeup. I wasn't sure. What are the other two? Smile,
A
jewelry.
smile. Okay. Dang.
All right, fine.
What did she
Whatever.
get? What did she get points for? We made all them guesses. I don't understand.
They guess the same
Do
thing. I
we
think they're
do
playing
we
like
not see?
independently.
Oh, I
Yeah, we
see.
don't see.
Name a public place where you've witnessed couples fighting and making a scene. Restaurant for sure. Um,
Um,
the grocery store.
mm,
Um,
Park.
ooh, nice.
Uh,
Couples fighting. Where do couples fight?
DMV. No,
The DMV, the Dev.
DEV. What the fuck? Um, dang. What?
Uh, type in DMV. Just see.
Oh, it keeps auto correcting it.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so no.
Bro, I straight up don't know. Post office is a good one.
Subway, street, sidewalk. Yeah, of
Oh,
course. All right, we
yeah,
got a lot
fair
more points
enough.
than they did, though.
Yeah, look at
Boom.
that. Ooh, let's go to the fast money round, baby.
Hey.
Fuck you, Heavenly Eye. Fuck you. We
Got
got
him.
it. Oh, yeah, we're
Got
way
him.
better at this. Never playing Google Feud ever again. May I blank you? Mary. Name something specific a mortician might not put on
Oh,
someone
yeah.
if it's, oh,
What
clothes
was the
again.
top one for this?
Clothes.
Clothes. Yeah.
Couples fighting and making, oh, what was the top one? Restaurant.
Yeah.
Never crashes into your home. Oh, gosh. A plane. Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Someone is a good liar. They'd make a great lawyer.
Lawyer.
No
Help.
way.
Plain, damn, plain was
Plane was
first.
number one. Yeah.
Politician.
Politician. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I don't know if that's a good score or not, but I feel like we did pretty well.
I do too. Yeah, I think we did all right.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. I enjoyed Family Feud. Google Feud was son of a bitch.
Google
If you
Feud
did
was
enjoy
tough.
this,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to do the outro, Kevin. Shut the fuck up. If you did enjoy this, please subscribe, follow, like, comment, do all those things that make all those little bots running around in the internet give us money maybe one day. Definitely not right now.
Hopefully.
But until then, we love you. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.